I recently read a quote that said that if Jesus preached the way that most pastors were preaching on the pulpit today, that he would have never been crucified. And that is so true. We recently left a church because the sermons weren't convicting. People were leaving feeling like everything was great. I just went and had my motivational speech for the week, and I don't need to change anything about myself because I am perfect just the way I am. And it's really funny, we had a meeting with this pastor, and we explained to him that these sermons aren't convicting at all. We're leaving feeling like we need to change absolutely nothing about ourselves, and there is a huge sin problem in the church, which I mean, there's a sin problem in every church, but specifically this church. And he said, well, Jesus was never offensive. Jesus was never controversial. Hilarious. That's what Jesus was. That's why he's so famous. That's why he got crucified in the first place, was because he was controversial. He basically metaphorically spat in the Pharisees and the Sadducees' faces, saying, you are wrong. You got it wrong. No pastor wants to speak on the LGBTQ community. No pastor wants to speak about how wrong abortion is. No pastor wants to speak on these controversial topics because they'll lose their congregation. But isn't that ridiculous? Jesus wasn't worried about who he will lose and who he will gain. He was worried about the truth, and that's what matters the most. And that's so true, that if Jesus were alive today and he was preaching the way that these pastors were preaching, he would get a pat on the back.